Obviously, an important factor to success is consistency and dedication to mat time to achieve anything big in jujitsu. What advice can you offer as far as like young people who are coming along in the ranks and coming along well in competition, who find themselves winning titles and bigger titles and think that they might have the potential to become a full-time jiu-jitsu athlete. What can they do to create a lifestyle that allows for serious, consistent training? Like, what are some things you've done in your life to ensure that you're able to train as regularly as required to reach the levels that you have?
So I think it's very important to, especially when you're young and you're still in like high school or you're studying, and people be like, "Oh, but I'm studying. It takes so much of my time." Yeah, it takes so much of your time, but try working 8, 9 hours a day. Then you'll see like how is it how the things are when something like that takes your time. So, like you still have a lot of time, and most likely you have your parent support still. Um, so try to use that time to create some jujitsu connected sources of income. So you can, like get some money and most likely put it back into jujitsu and support uh your journey, support your like travel costs, uh, all the things connected with jiu-jitsu tournament. So that's the perfect time, the perfect age to do that. So I would always encourage people to work extra hard at that time of their life to like get some privates, um, work on your social media, because that's a big market right now. If you can show that you're doing a good work um, in your area, you're gonna get people interested in maybe like online privates. You're gonna also get some people like just willing to support you, like sponsors, and always see what can you do inside of your gym. Sometimes it's just like helping your coach, leading the beginners group, or maybe you can make some t-shirts. There's so many things, there's so many things. And if you're just staying creative, you're gonna find a way, and yeah, I think this is the best time to do that, before you have like serious commitments, before you have a full-time job, before you have a family, because when you're established in jiu-jitsu and you're already like, that's your main source of income, then, like the family is not, it's not a problem anymore, because this jiu-jitsu is your job. So you're like, you're just supporting your family like every other person, working, bringing money home. It's only the different way of bringing that money. But, if you already have those commitments and you have like a lot of pressure on you to, support the family like you should, it's a little bit harder you know, to find your way in jiu-jitsu, because you have so much more on your plate. So I always tell young people, like, do anything you can right now, because that's the perfect time. Later on, if you're gonna sleep on that, later on there's gonna be commitments. There's gonna be this and that, and you can be dragged away a little bit from full-time jiu-jitsu, and jiu-jitsu, like, if you want to do it in a professional way, it requires a lot of energy, training like 3 times a day, 2 times a day. It requires a lot of energy. Very often you're gonna go to a morning class and you're gonna come back like totally exhausted, like physically. So you know, it's better to establish the jiu-jitsu lifestyle young, and then just, take those fruits later and use them to do whatever you need to do. Compete, support the family, pay your bills, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's great advice. I love that you pointed out that one of the options is to try to work within the academy. I think that obviously if you're a really active competitor and you're someone that's real serious about jujitsu, learn to teach early. Like if as you're a blue and purple belt, try to learn how to communicate well the basics and the fundamentals so that you can maybe start running a fundamentals or a kids class. I remember my brother. I started jujitsu about a year before he did, and then he started. I pulled him in, and he ended up getting a job at the academy and just soared past me. He's a black belt now, and he's because he's there every day. It was his job to be there 40 hours a week, Monday through Saturday. So he was just there all the time training, and it allowed him to be really dedicated to studying and learning much more than someone that has to work a job plus come train after work.
Yeah, teaching skill is essential in jiu-jitsu. Of course, there are cases where you're just an athlete, especially these days. These days are the days of big opportunities. But there are people who are just an athlete and they have decent salaries from their super fights. But let's be honest, like the huge part of jiu-jitsu is teaching, because whenever you're good, people themselves, they're gonna ask you to teach this and that. And like you got right now, you got instructionals, you got seminars, you got private, you got the privates, you got the opportunities to teach in the gyms. So why would you ignore that? Why would you ignore that part? And if you can teach well, that will create more opportunities. And the thing I wanted to add to the previous question, that whenever you're focused and whenever you're really motivated to do something, you're gonna not only find a way, but you're gonna also find people willing to help you on that way. So just stay focused, consistent, and stay motivated, creative, and good things will come.
Yeah, I also really like that you encourage young athletes, especially when they're young. So we're talking like 18 between 18 and 25, I guess. Man, that's a point of your life where you really do. You have a lot of people have parental support, and if you don't, at the very least, you have time on your side. So you can make a run at something, and you can be 23, 24, and if it doesn't work, if things aren't panning out, then at least, man, there's nothing wrong with starting college at 24 or 25. You'll still get your degree in 4 years, and yeah, no one knows the difference. So why not make a run at it,
Yeah, you're totally right. And another thing is that sometimes a lot of things are presenting, a lot of opportunities are presenting on the way, So let's say you're grinding to become a professional jiu-jitsu athlete. It didn't work out, but on the way you met those people, then they gave you like job opportunity, or maybe you work inside of jiu-jitsu, but you're doing something else. Maybe you're not an athlete, but maybe you started to work with a gi company and you're working for them, or you're working for BJJ Fanatics. There's like so many branches and so many opportunities right now. And sometimes, if you're just like looking, like you have that tunnel vision on on becoming a black belt world champion, you don't see those things that are on the side, those opportunities. But as you're making like step by step, you're making your way towards that title, those things are revealing. Those opportunities are revealing. So you can't even predict those opportunities That's the thing. You're meeting so many people on the mats, people doing so many different things in life, that the opportunities are there every single day. So even if you fail in becoming the best athlete from your region or in the world, there's so much more to jiu-jitsu, so many more opportunities, and there's always a way, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, it's like you said earlier too, like, one of the important things that you can become is a teacher. And, if you have an academy where you have at least 100 students, man, you're making six figures, and that's, you're making more than most of the country. So, there's nothing wrong with pivoting. And like you said, if you're initially on the path to try to become a successful athlete and it doesn't pan out, man, it's definitely not time wasted. Now you're an experienced athlete who can help young up and coming competitors and teach people all across the board jiu-jitsu. And I like what you said earlier, how there's always, if you pay attention, there's always people that are there to help, and there's always people there to encourage you and help you make connections and help you along the way. That's nice to hear, because I think a lot of people that go on this path, they run into a lot of naysayers, and it can be hard sometimes to remember that there are people out there who will encourage you and who will help you if you're just paying attention. I've known lots of people that take the competitive jiu-jitsu route, and they live that lifestyle of training multiple times a day, and they have to work only night jobs, like kind of waiting tables or bouncing or whatever they're doing. And a lot of people, they're kind of like, man, almost like, when are you going to get your life together? And it's like, dude, my life is together. I'm doing this. I'm on this path. And, a funny story, like one of our founders, Bernardo Faria, he mentioned in a story to me years ago that when he first told his parents, he finished business, he got his degree in business after college, and then told his parents, hey, I'm just going to commit to jiu-jitsu full time. And they about had a heart attack. It's like they couldn't believe it. But I mean, look at him now. I mean, and so and there's countless stories like that of, he's doing very well. Yeah. And there's lots of examples, even people who just have like a local jiu-jitsu school who are doing great, man, make six figures, do a really good job.
That's a legit business.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know it's hard especially for parents, these are the people that are the closest to you, most often. And, they're just wishing you the best, and they don't want you to, to always do like part-time jobs, and, they want to see you successful. And, of course, with the growth of jiu-jitsu and growth of professional scene, it's easier to believe that you can make like a decent career out of that right now these days. But I still probably, when you say that you want to become a professional jiu-jitsu athlete, it's not something that your parents would like you to do at first. They rather believe that you're going to become a lawyer or doctor, some more like the classic way of career, and that's understandable. Sure. And probably, there's so many things like that. Like when your kid tells you that he wants to become like a professional video gamer or something like that, and, something that is out of our circle, and we can totally react in the same way. But this 21st century world is a world of opportunities, and if you're passionate enough about something and you're creative and you're willing to work extra, you can be successful in anything. With all the social medias on your side, you can be really successful in anything. I believe that. And, you just have to be consistent. You have to pick your path and stay on that path, whatever it is, even video gaming.
Yeah. Very well said, man.
Wardzinski here. Just finished shooting my new instructional. It's all about escaping pins and dominant positions like back control, side, mount. Something that I'm well known from, something that saved me multiple times and eventually allowed me to turn the tables during the match, come back and win. Here I'm showing you only the concepts that are battle-proofed, concepts that I'm using on a daily basis, concepts that are basing on the fundamentals of Jiu-Jitsu, and I hope these will save you multiple times during hard matches.